What's up, everybody? Thanks as always for supporting the show. It would mean a lot to me if you would take a second to scroll down and hit that subscribe button to the Hoops Tonight YouTube channel, and then follow me on social media on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter so you guys don't miss any of our content over the course of this season. All right, let's talk some basketball. For Phoenix, there are some personnel limitations there, but I do see a lot of improvement, or a lot of room for improvement, I should say, all over the floor. The defense can be better. One of the big issues in this particular game is Kevin Durant, who's been a very good low man throughout his career, especially after he went to Golden State. He had a really bad game. He was the two things that stood out to me. He was slow in that low man rotation, so he was getting there too late in a lot of cases. And then when he got there, he wasn't using his verticality to make guys make shots over the top. A lot of the times he's like trying to get him down low, or he'd have his hands down, and guys were just going over the top and finishing. And it's like Kevin Durant, when vertical, is a pretty damn big obstacle to try to go through. And so by virtue of KD just being a little more focused, getting there a little bit earlier, and then using his verticality to make guys make tough shots over the top of him, I think that could help a lot in their help side defense. Grayson Allen and Devin Booker in particular were really sloppy in their off-ball rotations, which is like absolutely crucial to running a successful blitz in pick and roll, because you end up with these 4-on-3s in the backside. And like Kevin Durant can protect the rim for you, but in order to take away the 3-point shots elsewhere, you need to get more solid rotations out of those guys. So I think the defense can be a lot better. On offense, Devin Booker's just not playing very well. He doesn't look comfortable getting to his spots, which leads me to think he doesn't have his legs underneath him all the way. He's not shooting well. He's 43% from the field and 21% from three in his last 5 games. Kevin Durant all season has been kind of inefficient in ISO, which is tough because that's one of their most frequent play types. Kevin Durant's getting only 0.88 points per possession in ISO this year, which is down from what we expect from Kevin Durant, right? And then as a team, the Suns are not converting spot-up possessions. They're getting just 1.03 points per possession in spot-up situations, which ranks 20th in the NBA. Brad Beal returning should help in a ton of these areas, because a big part of what makes Kevin Durant a little bit less quick in his rotations on the backside as a low man is he still is being leaned on for the majority of the offensive creation. I know there's been a lot of talk about Kevin Durant being more featured in the offense, and there's no doubt that Devin Booker seems like he has the ball a lot, but Kevin Durant is still very, very much involved, last night notwithstanding, and he's actually leading the Suns in usage percentage over the course of this recent stretch when they've been struggling. So like that, to me, when Bradley Beal can come back and actually remain on the floor, it just makes so many things easier, because one, you're adding a ton of aggregate ball handling and shooting to the lineup, which is going to help you in every single play type. It's going to make KD's ISOs easier. It's going to get Devin Booker's pick and rolls easier. It's going to make the team's spot up efficiency skyrocket. It's going to allow for more resources to be devoted to the defensive end of the floor for guys like Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, who haven't been as good as they need. And so here's the thing. Like, I've seen a lot of people talking about like, oh, because Kevin Durant there was that report that came out that the Suns are monitoring Kevin Durant's mood. And here's the thing. I don't think Kevin Durant's going to be on a different team before the end of this year, not unless it turns into an absolute catastrophe. And I think Kevin Durant knows that he kind of has to make it work with what he's got in this situation, and I expect him to. They have the tools. The problem is, and this is important context, like it's easy right now to be like, oh, they're too weak off of KD and Devin Booker because they leaned too much into these stars, but it's like that was never the design of the team. The design of the team was Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. Right, that was the way this was supposed to work. And so again, like I think it's a little unfair to be like, oh, this whole thing is a failure, when it was never intended to work like this. It was intended to work with Bradley Beal in the picture. Now, once Bradley Beal's in the picture, are they suddenly going to become a great team? We'll see. We've barely seen it. So I have my skepticism, but I'm not going to jump to that conclusion until I see them play. And, it doesn't, like, as long as they can continue to linger around that play-in and kind of, and just remain within striking distance of the playoffs, if Bradley Beal can come back in a few weeks and they can go on a run, everything's going to be fine. So at least within the context of what this team was capable of throughout the regular season. So I think it's a little too early to completely consider this a failure. That said, there is a harsh reality here. Yes, the Suns have a lot of room for improvement within the locker room, but there is not anything really else that they can do with the roster. They might be able to make an ancillary trade for somebody like a PJ Tucker, or maybe they can go get an athlete from somewhere else in the league and turn one of their bench skill guys into an athlete. They might be able to get a buyout guy here or a buyout guy there. But there's no high-level reinforcements coming here. That's the harsh reality. So it's up to the guys in that locker room, specifically Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, to be like, what do we got to do to make this work, man? Because, like, you can get mad at Shemezi Metu. You can get mad at, Josh Okogie for doing something. You can get mad at Jordan Goodwin for doing something. But at the end of the day, those are your teammates for this season for the most part. Like, you might be able to make slight tweaks, but even the guys you bring in are going to be castaways from elsewhere, which means they're going to come with flaws. And so it's on the stars in that locker room to try to figure out a way to make it work.